Welcome everybody to the Three Gun Show. I'm your host, Dave Hartman. It's great to have you back. Welcome to another wonderful week of the Three Gun Show. This is episode 319. We got a great guest on the show this week. Our buddy Cody Leeper is back. If you listen to the Three Gun Show for a while now, you may remember that Cody Leeper was on the podcast several years ago, and he talked about mental training in a way that we've never heard about before or since. And you'll hear us get into it on the podcast here in a little bit. And we also talk about what Cody's up to as far as training goes now that he is no longer in college. He's got a big boy job, and he's out in the real world doing real world things. And then we get into something interesting Cody's doing, match directing. So Cody's decided after years of helping out with USSL and matches in almost every single aspect that he's going to direct a match direct. And his first one is the USSL Grands in Parma, Idaho. That's coming up soon. So you'll hear all about that, plus some changes that they have going with USSL to encourage new shooters, which I think is really cool and probably something that we could do in a lot of different aspects in club matches and things like that. So some good ideas coming that way. But before we get into the interview, I want to say real quick, thanks for listening to the show. Appreciate you being here. And don't forget to share the show with a friend if you like something about it, or if you just want to spread that good Three Gun Show experience to your new shooting buddies. And with that, let's talk to Cody Leeper. Cody, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Dave, how's it going?
It is going fantastic, my friend. It's so good to have you on. We've been chatting on Instagram for a while here about getting you back on the show, and we came up with like multiple topics. So, little teaser for the audience: Cody's going to be back on soon to tell for another story that he's working on. But what are you up to today, Cody?
Not a whole lot. Just, on that wonderful work grind, being an adult. Everybody still thinks of me as a junior. I still do myself. But doing this whole adulting thing's fun, man. Keeping super busy, and I'm loving life right now.
I tell you what, I'm going to be 42 in a month here, and I still think of myself as a junior too. Like I walk around thinking like, wow, they let me just drive a car, do whatever I want all the time. Yeah, adulthood is a sham, dude. Everybody's just faking it.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm 20, and that was 7 years ago.
Oh my God.
Ouch.
God, you are getting old.
Right?
Yeah, so it's funny. The last time we chatted, you were away at college, and so you were not allowed to have firearms, and that's actually was like the main topic of our show was how to train when you can't train. And
yep, I
gotta tell you, man, like I have had so many comments on that show over the years. And they varied widely. Like it was a super interesting topic on like mental training and mental development. If you haven't heard it, I'll put a link to it in the show notes here, and y'all can go back and check it out the first time that Cody was on the podcast. But to sum it up in like a sentence, you weren't allowed to have firearms at school, at college. So you did mental training every night. You imagine what quad loading would look like, would feel like. You would imagine seeing your sights and things like that, and you did that before you went to sleep. And then when you did go home, get the guns, go to matches, you did really well.
Yeah, and it's actually funny that you've mentioned that whole episode. So I'm a homeowner. I have my own house. I have all my guns like 20 feet away from me right now, and I still do that to this day because I don't have a dissident shotgun. I have to borrow one because I only want to run dissident, and I don't own a dissident yet. And so all of my practice of the dissident is 100% mental still. So I still to this day live by that.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Jedi mind tricks all day long.
Well, it's crazy because there's so many people that came up to me and was like, I don't know how he does it, and he's got to be messing with you and blah blah blah. And then our buddy Jeremy Reed, your friend, your rival, he was the most outspoken about it when he was just this is years ago, but he was telling me that it drives him nuts because he works his butt off, he trains all the time, and then you come like, oh hey, this is the gun I'm shooting today, all right, and then just clean up.
Yeah, he was very outspoken when I did I learned how to quad load in 2 hours. I tell people that when Jeremy gets very animated about it, livid, I would say, even. He, because quad loading, I was like, I need to do this big match. I think there was an all shotgun stage or something that was crazy high round counts. Like, I need to learn how to do this. I sat down, and for 2 hours, I'd do 10 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 10 minutes on, 5 minutes off. I don't have the attention span to go all the way through. And I just broke down the movements, and then put my shotgun up, worked that summer. And like a month and a half later, after mental rehearsal, I showed up and won a match. So, yeah, don't ask him about that one.
Oh no, I will. I gotta push the buttons, of course. Yeah, it's a good time, and that one does come up quite often. So I think I don't know, the mental aspect of it is definitely a thing. The more, since we've talked about this, obviously a lot of time has passed, but I've read a lot of books on the topic, and man, there's some interesting studies out there of people changing like their physical state or physical state in others. Just by concentrating on things, whether you want to call it meditation, prayer, mental, focus, or whatever it is. There's a lot of studies that actually point to it being like scientific fact, and it's hard to explain. And for people who aren't open-minded, it's hard to believe, but it's actually a thing.
Oh, absolutely. And I've gotten mixed feedback on that episode I did with you, and it's crazy how underutilized of a tool our brains are, especially in our sport. Like, I see a lot of great shooters using some of the principles I do, or ones I would like to learn better, and being very, very successful. But there's a lot of guys that's like, I just wish you would, this sounds weird, but just, and corny and cheesy, but dive into your mind a little bit. You might improve.
Well, so if someone wants to dive into their mind, start out, where do they start? Like, what, if you had to lay out like a blueprint, or if you're giving someone advice to someone who's like open to the thought open to the idea of being able to change their state through their mind or train through their mind, where do you start with your advice?
So I believe there's a book. I know Lena Mishlik actually posted about it. I think it was last year. It wasn't too long ago, about a book called With Winning in Mind. I reference it in the last episode I did with you. It's about Lanny Bassam, a gold medalist at the Olympics and everything. And it is a must read in my mind. Honestly, any competitor, period. It is a must read. Even if you're not in the shooting sports, it's a must read. And then on top of that, there's other books. If you're a bookie person, there's some on Audible, and there's also some podcasts. And I'll give you a list and try to pull up the references, because I haven't seen any of that stuff in a minute, but yeah, I got a whole list of things that people could start with, but the first step is just finding a resource about sports psychology or sports mentality.
Now, you played, correct me if I'm wrong, it's soccer, right?
Rugby.
Sorry. I was like, in my mind, I can see knee-high socks. That says soccer to me. No. So yeah, I apologize. Completely different game. You played rugby. Now, was that something you guys covered in your training, or was that ever any topic that your coaches brought up?
It actually kind of was, just a little bit. So my second year, I played 5 years for Boise State in total. And my second year, we had an incredible physical training coach who came in with a weight program and all sorts of stuff. And he actually got us hooked up with some of the sports psychologist professors at Boise State, came and talked with us, and we had a little bit of a resource for a little while. It didn't become a big thing, but it opened up a lot of the guys' minds up to that kind of realm of the world. And then I was sitting there and I started chatting with the professor and talking about things I already do, and I learned a lot from him. And then the guys on my team were like, wait, what do you do? And none of them knew I shot. Funny fact.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so we got into that, and I told them about the whole mental rehearsal thing. But yeah, you can apply it. It's not the same. It's not like a mechanical skill that we can rehearse over and over like in shooting sports. But there is things about rugby or other sports that you need to dime out and think about either during play or just almost a mindset coming in, because mindset can change the pace of a game End of story. Everybody's seen it. You get that momentum, and then something happens and a team falls down. It's because a mindset can affect a person's performance overall. Period.
Yeah, that's so true. And I feel like mindset can affect like just your day-to-day life, but it definitely affects your match. So do you have any sort of techniques or tips for changing your mindset if you found yourself in a negative place?
It's as simple as starting out as you can't fix what's already been done. Granted, there are some freak shows out there that can look at scores and be like, I need to do exactly this on these next stages, and they can execute. Mm-hmm. I know personally I can't. I'm not quite good enough for that. But look at what's already happened is like, okay, cool. That's there. Well, that's behind me. What do I have going forward? I learned a couple lessons. Obviously, I'm not going to do such and such thing in this match now because that didn't turn out good. Or maybe I need to slow down a little bit, but the only person you're competing against is yourself. You can't look at it as, oh, I got to beat this person at this match, or I want to beat them, or man, they got a couple seconds here. It's like, no, because then you're not shooting for you. You're shooting for that other person. And you got to be able to shoot at your skill level and execute correctly to have a good match. And that's one of the things I believe. And so like, you'll see me, I did it at 2 Gun Nationals this year because, gun problems, and I was already completely out of the running. But I never look at scores until I shoot my last stage. I never do. There's no reason to, because I should be self-assessing along the way. It's like, okay, cool. You know what? I'm feeling like Josh Freilich on the shotgun this weekend. I'm going to run a little harder, or it's like, cool, pistol's not going that well. Maybe I'll tune it up, slow it down a little bit, and make it clean, and then make up some time on the rifle like I know I can. So I self-assess through the whole match, and then, you come out and you're like, oh, cool. This is how I did.
It's like a nice surprise at the end.
Yeah, I mean, because, cool, I look at scores. What am I going to do about it? They've some 2-day matches, half the match is already gone. What am I going to do about half a match worth of scores? Nothing really. You just show up the next day and perform for you, and you're competing against yourself and showing yourself that you can execute properly. So that is one of the mindsets I hold that I really believe a lot of people should adopt, because I've seen a lot of people who could benefit from just staying calm through it all and focusing on the little things.
I gotta say, like, I really enjoy the people that do pay a lot of attention to practice score, like way too much attention. Like when you're trying to have a conversation with them at dinner and they're just staring at practice score and they're like, oh yeah, so-and-so's got such percentage. And you're like, hey, he shot different stages today than we did, And so it's kind of funny to watch people get wrapped around the axle like that when their closest competitor or the person they perceive as their closest competitor didn't even shoot the same stages as us.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be obsessing about something that I'm going to be at tomorrow when I'm surrounded by a bunch of really amazing people. And this is a vacation. And most of all, yeah, I'm super competitive. I want to win. I always do. And I'm really mad when I lose. However, when I'm not on the range, I want to enjoy the time with people because I'm on a vacation. And yeah, it just makes you a little happier.
That's kind of cool. I like the idea of just leaving it at the range and not stressing about it.
Mm-hmm. Because all you're going to do is spin yourself up and come in next day way too anxious.
It's a good point. Well, so on the note of the with winning in mind, Lanny Basham, it's probably time we did another 3-Gun Show book club thing. So maybe we'll do that in the near future here. I'll get the book and read it together. And it actually is on Audible as well. So if you're not a reader, you can listen to it, which is kind of cool.
There you go. Yep, daily commute. I listen to podcasts every day on my way to work. Always learning, always improving.
Yeah, I used to listen to podcasts on my commute as well, and now I do it when I'm at the gym or walking the neighborhood or whatever it is. And I think there's always something to learn for sure. But then I think the problem I see with a lot of people is, and I'm guilty of this myself, is just continuing to learn, like putting down that that book with winning in mind is like, oh, now I'm going to go read the Enos book, and not putting into practice or digesting and fully implementing the stuff that you learned in that first book.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's the first step, man. That's the biggest thing. I always like to use hydration multipliers as a reference. You know how they say, oh, if you put this drink packet in your water, it's going to multiply your hydration and make you way more hydrated, or because of some electrolytes or some mumbo jumbo like that.
Yeah, like Brondo. It's what plants crave.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I took a science class or two. I know that's not how things work. But what it does is it gets you drinking more water because you think it's going to help you. So you do it more. First step, dive in, do something. I don't care what it is. It's still going to get into your mind and you're going to learn something. I don't care if it's the right topic or the wrong topic. It's going to get you thinking about these things. And then it's going to get you curious and get you wanting to do more. And next thing you know, your hydration multiplier started from an Audible book that you heard about on the 3-Gun Show.
Nice. I like that. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Knowledge is knowledge. Always just seek it.
I like it. So what is your season then look like this year? You mentioned that you're a big boy, you got a job now and all that stuff and working full time. So what, I guess, like, how do you plan your season around that and the other obligations that you have going on?
So I try to make just basically as much as I can. So, I have a goal of trying to make, mostly rifle world shoot down the road, but maybe shotgun as well. And so, I'm already signed up for 2-gun, USPSA 2-gun nats, the PCC and pistol. And then I was trying to make, multi-gun nats, but don't know, because I'm already signed up for Texas 3-gun, and then I have my match. I'm running the USSL Grand Championship in April, so it was a heavy month, and so I might have to spread it out a little bit. But probably going to hit, let's see, Wyoming, Surefire, the 3-gun championship in Texas, my own match, the EMG in Texas later in the year, and then I actually have a bunch of NRL stuff I'm doing this year too, on top of that, because it's a little closer travel. So yeah, we're gonna hit at minimum those, but I'm gonna try to sprinkle in some more matches on top of that.
Nice. Are you still up in Idaho then?
Yes.
Okay.
Boise area.
Got it. So I actually got to shoot an NRL match last year, and that was just a kick in the pants. It was so much fun. Really enjoyed that. So it's cool to hear other people going out and checking that stuff out as well.
Yeah, it's fun when you can show up to a all rifle match in a different crowd and do decent and have those rifle shooters be like, "Oh, isn't he just a trigger jerker?"
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's it is a whole different crowd. It's you know what, I really enjoy the people though that are in the NRL hunter. They seem like more like 3-gunners than any other discipline I've shot before, or any other different type of match. And what I mean by that is just like super welcoming, willing to help you out with stuff, and not giving you false information and things like that. Just nice people. I really enjoyed that match.
Yeah, I like the layout. I like how it runs, and the people. I only shot one last year, but the people were incredible. The people behind me, the people in front of me, when we were able to chat that little bit. So that I'm definitely going back. So I'm shooting one up in Washington. I think I'm going to hit the Price, Utah one. I'll hit the one at Comp Expo that same week at Surefire. And then the Grand Slam is actually about an hour away from my house. So hopefully I'll be able to qualify and make it to that.
Oh, cool.
We'll see.
Where's the Grand Slam this year?
It is in Mountain Home.
Okay.
So that's the same location that I shot my NRL Hunter match last year. And it's gorgeous and challenging. It's going to be super fun.
That's cool. That is another interesting thing about NRL hunters. They get all kinds of really cool locations and venues. And because of the distance needed, it does end up being like quite a beautiful sort of experience.
Absolutely. I kind of compare it to 3D archery, but with guns.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good analogy, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really cool. So, I just looked up the USPSA multi-gun nationals because I was thinking like, oh, how close are those on top of each other? But yeah, shoot, USPSA multi-gun nationals, Texas 3-gun, and the Grand Championship. Those are all within like 2 weeks of each other, aren't they?
Yeah. So actually, I was about to announce the Surefire or the Grand Championship, and the day before I was gonna post a video about it, USPSA launched theirs. I was like, well, I got to steer clear of that. Let me contact the range.
Yeah, so theirs is let's see, March 30th. Okay, I was a little farther apart than I thought. So theirs is March 30th, the weekend of March 30th, multi-gun nationals, and then your match, the Grand Championship, is the 15th through the 17th of April, and then Texas 3-gun is April 22nd through 24th. So it ends up being like, whew, wow, okay, that's all pretty close, man.
Yeah, yep, and the position I'm in, where I'm at now, they would very, very much aggressively not like if I took that much time off in 1 month. So
yeah, taking like 3 Fridays off.
Yeah, I've told people I was going to shoot Texas multi-gun for many, many years now. And finally I got a group I'm going down there with to shoot. So it won out over USPSA nets this year.
Cool. Yeah, it's a really fun match. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. They always do a great job with that match.
Yeah, I hear nothing but good things. So time to go try it out.
Nice. And so then you mentioned the Rifle World Shoot. So have they decided when the Rifle World Shoot is exactly going to be yet?
I heard rumor because I follow some of the IPSC pages and everything now. I saw somewhere, I don't know if it's for sure or not, that it was going to be Finland 25.
Okay.
Maybe 24 or 25. Finland.
I know
that's what I saw. I don't know if it's for sure set in stone, but
sure. I know that COVID put like a huge damper on the planning and they had to push them all back. And of course, now there's a PCC World Shoot to compete with them all. So it's all up in the air. I don't know.
Yeah, well, whenever it comes, I will shut down my entire rest of my schedule to make that one match. I swear.
Yeah, it should be a good time. Looks like 2024 IPSC World Team, and yeah, it does look like it is Finland. So good stuff. Yeah, that's a really good goal. So do you have like a train up for that if you're gonna make that part of your long-term goals?
Yeah, so right now I'm actually, a lot of people are going to hate to hear this, but I'm hoarding rifle ammo. I'm straight hoarding rifle ammo. And so towards the end of this year, I'll probably start really, really diving into actually an actual training program and plan and really focusing on more of the IPSC style of stuff because, you know, I fare well in what we do, but when it comes to the super technical stuff, movers at 70 yards and stuff like that, I really need to dive into it because it's not the long courses that'll get you like what we're used to. It's those short courses, those little 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 second stages that they have an asinine amount of that will get you. So I just need to really fine tune the quick stuff like that.
Yeah, I gotta have some of the guys that went to World Shoot on the show to talk about it again because it is just a completely different type of format. I really enjoy watching the videos on Instagram of the people internationally that do shoot rifle competitions. And there's several. In fact, if you're interested, I can send a couple to you. But there's some guys in Finland and some other places around the world that they shoot some IPSC matches on a regular basis, just like we shoot, you know, a USPSA pistol match or a 3-gun match or something like that. And they're incredibly elaborate and super technical. And god dang, they're fun to watch. It's just like a whole different style than what we do in 3-gun.
Yeah, usually when you see people pick up a long gun, it has its own style here. This little, I wouldn't say dumbed down, but like a little more simplified. But you're talking nationals level USPSA pistol course, but with a rifle in your hands at some of those.
Yeah,
that's what I've observed.
And the same thing with shotgun, right? Like I guess when you specialize you specialize in like one platform, it ends up being much more technical, like a better test, or not a better, like a more stringent test of the skills or something like that. Where in 3-gun, like we've got so much chaos plus transitioning guns and a limited amount of time, and we got to keep everything on schedule, that it ends up being just a little bit less of one gun because you got to fit the other 2 guns in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of really looking forward to actually training hard and diving into something specific, because I've never done it. I've always done 3-gun and just kind of broadened what I practice, but being able to dive into a single platform would be really, really fun.
Heck yeah. Yeah. And I think the Facebook groups are, they've got all the former, I guess Team USA and, other people that went, I don't know what the hell they call them, but just competitors that went out and shot last time. And, I think that's a good resource to find those things and those skills that you need to be training. So that's really cool resource, and a good thing that they put that together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Cody, so we just mentioned the USSL Grand Championship coming up, and that's the first match for UML USSL for 2022, and you're going to be the match director. Exciting times.
I don't know why I volunteered, but here I am.
Have you been match director of a major like that before?
So I haven't been a sole match director, but I've had my hand in just about every major USSL match, stave when I was on deployment or anything like that, for the past since the beginning of USSL.
Yeah, I've seen it every one I've been at.
So I've been helping behind the scenes in some way on all those matches for a long time. And so it was like, you know what, this is what needs to happen. I'll take this match over and we'll run it up in my location. So it's in Parma, Idaho this year.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And it's a pretty cool range. A lot of people haven't been back to it since Ironman 2015. Was it? So 7 years ago. They've done a lot of improvements to the range, and there's a lot of things we can do. And with the format of it, because it's the 4 pistol, 4 shotgun, 4 rifle, and then 4 multi-gun, it has the variety of bays and also slight natural terrain and distance that we can truly do what we need to do justice to all the 4 different styles.
Oh, right. I forgot about that format that almost invokes the IPSC style that we were talking about, where you're specializing in one gun for a few stages.
And it's going to be fun. So it's been a very, very challenging match, really tests the best of the best. And it had, first year we had scored and partial paper at 100 yards. We had all the different types of prone, completely side with your gun out to 150 yards, all the really, honestly, fundamental skills that we should be practicing with a rifle, but we actually had them in a match, and they were all in the match. Usually you see 1 or 2 or 3 of these different things in a match, but we had all the things in the one match. Yeah,
when you have stages that are testing only one gun, you definitely have to get more creative with the challenges on that stage, right? It can't just all be a hoser stage.
Yeah, and so my plan is I've already started designing a couple of stages, and we're going to do it that we have it's going to be like a warm-up match for the year. Like, it's going to be super solid stages. It's not going to be something over the top, but you'll definitely have your challenges. We're going to have some distance moving paper with the rifle. We're going to have movers and technical stuff with the the pistol. And then shotgun's going to have super tight nose shoots and tight stages, but it's also going to have a little bit more open stuff. So we're going to have a wide variety of skills to test and try out and get you tuned up for the year at the match.
Awesome. And so there's a couple division changes for USSL this year too, from what I hear. Is that right?
Yes. And as soon as people hear division changes, I know what they're thinking of. But We
Well,
actually
you're adding a division, right?
Yes, we are adding a brand new division, and even hearing that, people are probably already antsy about what I'm about to say, and their suspicions are almost guaranteed to be wrong. I know I already talked with you about this, so I just wanted to stress people out for a second.
Yeah, give them a slow reveal. No,
No.
well, I'll admit, just give an even more slow reveal. It wasn't something I expected at all. So I didn't think we'd see that one.
Yeah, we took an idea from left field and say, let's roll with it. So we are adding what's called the recreational division, starting at my match this year.
What is the recreational division?
The recreational division is just what it sounds like. You know, you show up to a round of golf. You're not there to compete with the pros in some sort of division or something. You just show up and you do your thing, you leave. Well, that's basically how we're going to think of it here. For a reduced match fee, of a severely reduced match fee, we're going to allow people to sign up for the match and shoot the match integrated with the regular squads. And they won't get their score recorded. They're not going to get a prize table walk. They're not going to get any awards or anything like that. We'll probably do a random draw prize because I know there's a ton of amazing sponsors out there. And so we'll probably do some sort of a random draw prize or something for these people. But they can come and shoot whatever they got. So let's say at my match, person shows up with no shotgun, but they have a rifle and a pistol. We're not recognizing two-gun division at my match. It's only going to be ladies, optics, and race, as well as 2x4. And so there's not going to be two-gun at that match. But if they only have two guns, they can show up and shoot the match. The shotgun stages, we'll let them shoot the shotgun stages, but they're only going to engage the steel and they can only shoot their pistol. So they'll almost have like two pistol portions of the match they'll get to shoot. And then the rifle portion, obviously they'll shoot it. And the multi-gun parts, we'll just substitute what we can of the shotgun targets for pistol. It won't be a perfect scenario. We're not going to completely modify and change stages to fit them, but it's going to allow people to actually come out and just at least dabble and do something and see what the pros are doing and see what the pros are not doing. And basically get people to come out and try the sport.
I think that's cool. So it's like a super low pressure, low barrier to entry way to come and try out and see if you like competition shooting, or if it's your crowd, or if it's something that you want to do, or if you want to invest all the money into like a hot rod dissident shotgun or what have you.
Yep. And we know the community. Like, you're going to be on squads with a person like me. If I'm shooting the dissident, I'll have a tube gun in the car, my TTI tube gun, and I'm going to run over there, grab it, and be like, hey, you want to use this? That's how poor Sean Streeter ended up buying every JP rifle and tricked out shotgun and everything. Now he's head first and he's match director of Wyoming this year. That started like that. I was like, oh, hey, try this shotgun.
Nice.
But yeah, and so we know that's going to happen in the community. And so by the end of the match, these people in recreational division might be shooting with all three guns at least a couple stages. But I just feel like over the past couple of years, we've neglected being friendly to new shooters. Like, yeah, the community is great, always has been, but we haven't made it easy, especially with the state of the industry the past couple of years. So we really wanted to find a way to get people to come out and try it and just bolster the sport. Like, we need people to come out and have fun. That's how we have more fun. And so I feel like this lowers it enough that we can start to get more people.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll be honest, I've been I'm sure I've been guilty of that in the last couple of years with the Three Gun Show. And basically all I've done is shoot major matches and cover major matches, and kind of left the club scene sort of stagnant and kind of off in the wings, where that's where I got started. And like, I shot club matches for I think 3 years before I shot my first major or something like that. And then probably 5 years before I traveled to a match. So the those low barrier to entry opportunities, I think when I was new, I really would have enjoyed that and would have taken advantage of it. And the recreation division reminds me of like a 5K or like a Spartan race or a Tough Mudder or something like that. When you go to one of those races, there's probably like 3 or 4 people that are in the running for winning the race, but there's hundreds and sometimes thousands of people that run those races. So the recreation gives a good opportunity to go out, low pressure, have fun, do your best, and get a taste for the format and the competition. I like it.
Yeah, it's I'm very excited to see. It might be a total flop. We might have 4 people do it the entire year, but at least we're trying to get more people out. And the reduced match fee, I mean, heck, we don't have to record their score. They're not going to get prize table stuff. They're not going to get this, so they're not going to make them pay the full fee. And that, I know for a lot of people, not only is a major match daunting, but it is kind of a cost thing because they have to spend so much more on ammo. They're actually traveling, and then a huge match fee on top of that. It just becomes so much pressure. It's like, oh, I better make this worth it because I just spent so much money. And then they end up going to a major match and not having a good time.
Yeah.
And then just, what, I'm done with this. And they don't show back up.
Yeah.
And
put a lot of pressure on themselves.
Maybe this will ease people into it just a little bit.
That'd be cool, man. I like that. So the recreation division's a thing. And then we're also, you also have, well, obviously there's 4 matches in the in UML. And then of course there's 2 UPL Pistol League matches. So one of the things that we've talked about on the show before is that everything is a championship, right? Where I think the one thing that USSL does pretty well is that they've got the Grand Championship and then the Nationals and World Multi-Gun, et cetera. But you've got a way to tie them all in now, and that's something else that's new for the 2022 season.
Yes, we do. So starting this year at, again, the Grand Championship, we are introducing a points series for members. So if you're a member of USSL and you show up and shoot any of the 4 major matches, it will start your accumulation of points for the points series.
Okay, now I got a question about the points. Do I have to shoot the same division to get points?
Yes, and so that's one of the stipulations. You're going to have to shoot the same division across multiple matches. And so how we have it is, they're pretty spread out. And, one of them is so close to happening already before we made this announcement that we're going to make it to where anybody that would qualify for and keep in mind, if a person's already been a member for years prior and have their qualification title, pro, semi-pro, expert sharpshooter, or marksman, this is a good way to base off of where you're going to end up probably coming straight into things. If not, we have for people who don't know, we have our qualification titles based on percentage of match finish in your division. So marksman is 50 to 59.99%. Sharpshooter 60 to 69.99%, experts 70 to 79, semi-pros 80 to 89, and pros 90% and above. And so it's all going to be based on that as well. So for first off, pros and semi-pros, 3 scores to qualify.
Okay.
Pros and semi-pros, 3 scores to qualify, but expert, sharpshooter, and marksman, 2 scores to qualify. So you only have to shoot 2 of the matches if you're expert, sharpshooter, or marksman. You can shoot 4. You can shoot all 4. But it's only required for 3 for the semi-pros and pros. These are the people that usually are attending more matches and paying the money out and actually traveling. And so we felt it was actually fair to kind of incentivize the pros to actually get after it a little bit.
Sure. Okay, I got a gamer question on that.
Okay.
So you said that semi-pro and pro need 3 matches to qualify, and
Yes.
marksman and expert need 2 matches, but we could shoot more, right? So
Yes.
say, for example, I'm a marksman and I shoot 4 matches. Now, do you take my best 2 scores, and those are my points for the series?
Yes, we will be taking your
Nice.
best 2 scores. And so even if you're a pro, if you shoot all 4 matches, you will get your lowest score thrown out. And so what we're going to do is take your percentage finishes. Say you get a 70%, a 75%, and a 70% again. Your average is going to come out to best two scores, 70 and a 75. You're probably going to be at 72.5.
Okay.
Roughly. So that would put you at 72.5% for the series points.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we're going to average your scores across the multiple matches. And if you shoot more matches, obviously the potential of having a higher percentage is good. You also might have someone just destroy a match and then in your division and you end up at a lower percentage. But that's why you have chances to go to more matches. But it could hurt or hinder you. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so whatever your average is across your scores, whatever you end up, that'll be the qualification title that you fall within for your series points. So let's say your average is 79.92%. You're probably going to win the expert series.
Right.
But if you're down at like 71%, you're going to be ranked in the expert series, but you're going to probably won't win.
So if you're an expert and your, I guess your average score ends up being, or is that possible that your average score would end up being like 80%, 80.1 or whatever, or would you have already been bumped to semi-pro by then?
So we're talking about that right now. It's not fully released, and that's why I haven't posted any of the full details yet, because we're still hashing out how we want to handle a situation like that, because we talked about it. And so we have a couple of ideas running around. So one of them is potentially to make a buffer, or potentially be like, well, sorry, you didn't win the series, but you moved up in a qualification title, potentially. And now next year you're going to start out at that or semi-pro instead of expert, because you went up into the 80%. We're not quite sure how we're going to handle that yet, but if you guys have feedback, let us know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It almost gets to be like bracket racing at that point, right? So you can get up to 79.99%, but don't get 80. Otherwise you break out.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. We don't want to have people breaking out and just crushing it through the year, practicing and going to matches and doing awesome, and then get penalized for it in a way. So we also have full details soon. Rookie of the year. If you're a new member, or have never shot with us, or you're below that 50% mark in the previous years, even though you're a member, and you suddenly just climb through the ranks, we're going to have a rookie award for this year as well, that goes in with the point series.
Very cool. Very cool. So do you have to, what does a competitor have to do to be a part of the points series? Do you have to like volunteer? Do you have to sign up somewhere else, or like what's the mechanics behind that?
Yep. Just so we can track you, and it's also part of the USSL matches. Go ahead and go to ussleagues.com and do a membership for the year. It's $40, and so it's not terrible, but it'll allow us to track you and have you qualified for the series.
Got it. So any member then gets tracked.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's easy.
Yep. Any member.
Perfect. Well, good stuff. Well, that's kind of exciting. So the point series is actually pretty cool. It's something that we've talked about doing on the show, just a, random point series of picking out, matches and then assigning, fake points and creating our own little 3-gun show series and stuff. But it's cool that you guys actually have enough matches to be able to put that into play. So that's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's why we limited it to, okay, you got to shoot the same division throughout the year, because once people are locked in there, you're pretty consistent across scores. So like say Josh Freilich and Scott Green show up and race at all 4 matches, it's going to be a pretty even percentage scores for the whole field for every match, because those guys are going to perform at that top level, setting the bar and the standard on the percentage wise for the rest of the field. And so it's going to create kind of a stability and consistency across the way, where if you jump to a different division, no one is there, and you place artificially high in like a 90 percentile, it's just going to jack with the whole system. So that's why we did limit it down to you have, for the point series, you have to stay in the same division the whole year.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, I have another question. more gamer questions here.
Absolutely.
You mentioned that the Vortex Optics Grand Championship, that you guys are going to have 3 divisions plus 2x4. So you're going to have ladies, you're going to have optics, race, and 2x4. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So are those? So basically, you'd want to be in one of those divisions for the point series, because that would give you the most opportunities to gain points, right?
Yeah, I would suggest it if you really plan on attending and wanting to up your average the most. I would say those, but unfortunately, 2-gun, just because of the nature of grands, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, 2-gun just sits out on the shotgun day.
Yeah, and limited, wouldn't have enough attendance to do it justice. And so at that match at least. And so those unfortunately just kind of got bumped out for this match.
Right.
But I guess we still have the rest of the 3 matches. Sure.
Well, I got to say, it's great that USSL has so many different division options, but I do like the fact that, Grands is going to have the 4 in there, including the 2x4 and ladies divisions. And the reason is it stacks the competition closer together. When you go to like a match and there's 9 divisions, you end up with like a division with like 6 people in there. And that's kind of a bummer, because it's like, oh man, those 2-gunners over there should be over here playing 3-gun, and we should be competing against each other. So I like the options, but I think like this is my personal opinion, on a individual match level, the number of divisions should be capped at 3 or 4 or something like that to keep the competition together, just so it doesn't spread it out so much.
See, we just need to make every single match race and tube race. Tube race is the other division because it's non-box fed shotguns, because not everybody has one.
Oh, interesting. Race
every
and
match,
tube race.
Just race straight across.
So what's well, okay. I mean, you kind of got me here. I'm not against it yet. So what is tube race? So that's just open pistol, or I guess race pistol.
Same rules, but you have to run a tube-fed shotgun, and you can run a tube-fed shotgun in full race.
And can we run loading sticks too?
Oh, absolutely. You can do whatever you want.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's tube open.
Well, it kind of sounds pretty fun, actually. Race and tube race.
To the Mike Voigt and Jerry Mishlik days.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, Jerry knows how to run sticks, dude. Really fast. So
absolutely.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm down. Okay, so here it is. 2 divisions from here on out. Race and tube race. Pile everyone together. Run what you brung. Let's go for it.
Yep. There you go. Easy as that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's it's got to be a really unpopular idea. A lot of people yelling at their stereos right now, Cody.
That's okay. Everybody wants cool gear and go fast, so let's have them have cool gear and go fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like years and years ago when I had Josh Freilich on the show the first time, like he really like put it into perspective for me. He's like, all I want to do is shoot, and shoot fast, and so I need to have enough ammo to do that. And then it just like caused me to really pause and reflect on that. And I thought, God dang, that's a hard argument to go against. All I want to do is shoot and shoot fast, so I need a lot of ammo. Like, okay, yeah, it's a good argument for open.
Yep. No, it's a shooting competition.
Yeah.
So let's shoot.
Yeah, that's for sure. I totally agree. Well, man, so Cody, all kinds of cool opportunities for USSL coming up here. You got. I'm just going to run through them real quick. So the April match is the 15th and 17th. That's the Vortex Optics Grand Championship, and that's in Parma. Is that right?
Yes, Parma, Idaho.
And then June 3rd through the 5th is Traditional Nationals, and that's the Cody match, right?
Yes, that will be in Cody, Wyoming.
Cool. And is up Cody? Yep, Cody Shooting Complex. That's a really cool range. So exciting stuff that's coming back to Cody.
Everybody wanted us to go back there, and so we did what the people wanted.
Nice. Well, that's smart. Yeah, it's a really good range. So that'll be fun. July 22nd through the 24th is Surefire World Multi-Gun. Where's that one at?
That is at Cameo Shooting Complex
okay.
in Grand Junction.
Is that going to be with Comp Expo then, right?
Yes, that's that same week as Comp Expo. So it's a whole lot of industry stuff going on. I think there's 4, 5, 6 matches going on at the same time in different disciplines. There's archery. There's all sorts of stuff going on. So that's a crazy cool match to make.
Yeah. So Cameo is a really awesome range to shoot at. I did go to Comp Expo last year. I would highly recommend that if you want to shoot a USSL match and you want to combine it with something else, go shoot that one because Comp Expo will be there. There's all kinds of opportunities to shoot demo guns. Here's an interesting thing I didn't even know until I left. They actually sell product there as well. So like Timney had their whole trailer. You could go buy, Timney triggers. There was Vortex Optics salespeople there. You could buy Vortex gear and stuff like that. I had no idea until it was all over. It's kind of bummer, but that's pretty cool. And then so you take August off, and then September, 9th through the 11th, there's EMG Nationals. And where's that one being held at?
So that's actually a typo. I will get that changed because I know where you're pulling that info from.
The website.
Yep. So we'll get that changed. So the dates are actually the 16th, 17th, and 18th, and it is at ETTS in Waxahachie.
Waxahachie. Oh, yeah.
Waxahachie.
Cool.
Yep. So it'll be there, and that's the super fast expedition style, very close, very short, very technical match.
Nice. Another good range. Yeah, ETTS is a cool range too. Awesome. Well, a full season of shooting then with USSL, and those are just the UML matches. There is late April 29th through the 1st. You have the Arms Corps Rock Island Bad Beat Shootout District 1 Championship. That's a pistol match, right?
Yes, that is a pistol championship match at the Pro Gun Club in Las Vegas.
Nice. And then July 22nd through the 24th, the Mike Voigt UPL Nationals. Is that part of the Surefire World Multi-Gun?
Yep. I mentioned there's 6 matches going on at once, and that's one of them.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and because of how the schedules are probably going to turn out, you could shoot both the UPL match and the World Multi-Gun match at the same time.
Nice. And so I've heard from some of the organizers as well that they're going to do like side stage kind of. I don't know if USSL or UPL are going to do this, but they're going to do side stage sort of thing. So if like you are shooting the 3-gun match and you want to check out NRL Hunter, but they overlap obviously on the schedules, they're going to have like a stage or two that you can go try. Same thing with like the shotgun experience, and I don't know what else they're going to have this year, but. Big event, man. Yeah.
No, I heard rumor about the whole side stage kind of thing. So all the gear will be basically provided, and you'll be able to try any of the disciplines.
Yeah, that's really cool. Huge, like not customer, like just regular person engagement opportunities. So. I think that'll be good for people to go out there, and if you're interested in trying other matches, it'd be fun to check that out too.
Yep, and hopefully a bunch of people come and bring their friends in recreation division.
Yeah. Oh, so you're doing recreation at all the matches then this year?
All the matches, and I do encourage anybody running club matches that running the UML use rule set, and even if you're not, take a look into doing something like the recreation division at all levels of matches.
And so the recreation division doesn't require a certain amount of gear, right? Like if you show up with like a dot on your pistol, but you've got a dot on your shotgun, or excuse me, your rifle, it's not like ordinarily you'd have to be thrown into open division, right? Like you just go into your recreation and that's it, right?
Yeah, you go to do recreation. There's no divisional requirements. There's no gear requirements. Obviously safety is key, and we're not going to allow them to shoot steel core ammo or have full autos, or, we're going to rein it in and be realistic about a couple things, but pretty much it goes. We want people to jump in. They can buy specialized gear later, but at least they bring what they have. And we're not going to record the score. We'll time them, and there'll also be the availability if a person asks, or if there's a safety reason because they don't know quite what's going on. Coaching will be allowed during that too. just because it creates a better overall experience. And people can say, I don't want to be coached, and say, okay, as long as you're safe, we won't say a thing. It's basically almost like artistic freedom for the people who have never been there, and they at least get to do it in a way that they feel comfortable and with a little less pressure.
That's good. With the umpteen million new gun owners that just joined the ranks in the last 2 years, I think this is a really cool idea with a obviously really good timing to do it. So hopefully there's people out there that take advantage of it. And if you are a USSL member and you want to bring a buddy out from work or something that is afraid to try it, this is the perfect time to do it.
Absolutely, it is. And who knows, maybe the only thing that they learn is during any kind of stress at all, they might crumple and they might seek out training from one of the wonderful people that we have in the shooting community.
Yeah, there you go. It's God, I wish I could feel the juice of that first buzzer going off again. I remember just like blacking out, and at the end, like, did I hit them all? It's kind of a, it's funny. It's like a once in a lifetime sort of thing. And then now we're just kind of a little jaded. Like it's just the start buzzer, but man, yeah, the getting jacked up on adrenaline and going for it live in a, John Wick style environment.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I wish I could get that feeling again too. It's been so long that it's different now. It's not the same, but it's different. There's still butterflies and stuff, but it's completely different nowadays.
Absolutely. Right on. Well, so ussleagues.com is where people go to sign up if they're interested in the matches. All kinds of other good stuff happening here. Cody, it's been great to have you on the show again, man. We got to make sure that it's not so long next time.
Well, we already have a follow-up episode on a different topic already there. And so maybe it'll be very soon.
I'm pumped for that one too. So I can't wait. So, just for people that are curious, sorry, you're going to have to wait. Cody's going to be back soon, and he's got something cool to talk to us about that I'm really interested in. I wouldn't let him give me any sneak peeks because I want to be surprised the same way you are. But Cody's going to be back. We're going to have him on and talking about another topic, and we're going to have some fun. But Cody, man, thanks for being on the show, dude. Always appreciate you. Always a pleasure to talk to you. And I'm going to give you the opportunity here at the end of the show, something we like to do. If you got one final thought, one piece of advice for the audience, what would it be?
Oh, I would say try new things. Get out there and learn something new. A lot of people out there I watch are on the verge of greatness, but they're not seeking that little bit of knowledge more that they need or just something new. And so just if you have an idea or have a whim, go for it. Get after it.
I love it. Cody, thanks again for being on the show, man. We'll be talking to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave.